center of the field. 50 goes straight up. Jojo Mojo looking for the shot. Gonna be a soft one towards the net. Rogue there, able to save it, send it away, and puts a long-range shot on net. Opens up the scoring early, just 9 seconds into the game.
Immediately showing that he can win any race to the ball. He's got the speed, and the rotation just wasn't there from the Toucans. I'm hoping that's not a sign of things to come for this roster.
You know, I do have to say that the Solar Flares scrimmed my team tonight. So if they win, it's really our win, right? Like, we helped them warm up for this.
Oh, absolutely.
If they lose, it's absolutely not our fault. We're absolved of all liability.
No, absolutely. I agree.
Gaither with a pass out towards the middle. Rogue is going to be able to touch it back to Panther. A little bit of an awkward touch off of his own back wall. Ken there to send it up high, and now a touchdown to Rogue, but Gaither might get there first. Ends up being a 50 awkward up high in the defensive zone. And now Ken with the calculated back pass. That's what we call that touch, calculated back pass. It is going to keep the Solar Flares under a lot of pressure right now, still up by 1, holding on to that 1-goal lead. Now let's see if Panther or Ken can clear it out. Double commit in the corner could be very dangerous. Jojo does get a touch, sends it back towards the net, but it does look like they are going to live to fight another minute here in this game.
Early on, the Toucans are really able to just lock in the Solar Flares to their own end. Although the floor has changed, they are now back on the offense, hoping to extend their lead, get that insurance goal. But I'm really liking how the Toucans look early on. Even with that opening kickoff goal, they've managed to come back. They've managed to sort of suppress the Solar Flares in their own end, and that's really good for the entire series as a whole.
Yeah, and we're going to be 4 games into this series. For those of you who may be a little unaware of how RSC works, we're playing 4 games no matter the outcome. And man, what an outcome we have here. Great passing play by Pyth. Beats 2 defenders on his own. Jojo Mojo able to send it to that back post right behind the challenger. And it is tied up 1-1. Just 1 minute and 38 seconds gone from this game. Still plenty of Rocket League left to play. Let's see who's going to take the go-ahead goal here early in the game.
Yeah, it looks like...
And that's going to be it. Just as soon as we say it, they have done it. Pyth puts the ball in the net, puts the Toucans up by 1, 2-1 here, 3:13 left to play.
Almost an identical goal to Rogue's goal earlier on. Both those players just going back and forth on the pitch. Hopefully, Pyth will be able to keep that pressure up, as the Toucans as a whole have looked good, but Pyth has been a bit quiet up until that goal.
Rogue has been a little quiet since that goal he did score. Let's see if he can pick it up. Panther now does put one off the right side wall. Gaither able to beat him. Now up for his own aerial, puts it into the corner for some pressure. Rogue there to be the first one to challenge. Can't quite get the corner boost and keep the play going, but Ken does get the side boost, passes it out center. Rogue not going to be able to beat Jojo Mojo coming in for the panic defensive play. Able to clear it away, and now Gaither, long shot on net. Third man's got to be there, and those are those goals against coming out from Solar Flares. We talked about it early on in the stats. You have to have a third man here. I'm not really sure, based off of my replay angle, whether that was Ken or Rogue's fault, but just leaving the third man position a little too open. You're gonna have to expect those big banging clears on the net from the opposite goalie box, and you have to find a way to defend against it.
Yeah, that's exactly what we were worried about on the desk. We were really hoping they would be able to sort of rein in their defense and keep those goals from going in. But unfortunately, that one does get by, and a 3-1 lead now for the Toucans. They're looking especially dominant, especially if Jojo Mojo can put this one in. Unfortunately, it's knocked away by Ken.
Yeah, we do still have quite a bit of Rocket League left to play. 2 full minutes of fake there by Panther. Rogue leaves the ball up off the backboard for Panther. Tries to put it back into the center, looking for Rogue. Gaither there to challenge, and now has a 1-on-1, 2-on-1 opportunity now. Ken up early, touches it down softly. Pyth will be the first one there, trying to find his teammate into the center as Gaither's rotating out. Panther tries to get it by Jojo Mojo, and a soft roller onto the near post. Almost finds its way into the net. Ken there to be the hero for that moment. Oh, and a good pass. Good pop-up. Will the third come in for the shot? No, Jojo Mojo able to send it away. Ken, I don't know how, but he was flying 90 degrees out of the side of my screen, but facing the opposite way. It's kind of an impressive approach to that ball.
Oh yeah, probably just a bump, but there was a really good chance there for the Toucans. Pyth just wasn't lined up for it correctly. Those are the shots that really have to go in, especially in a close game like this. But look at Ken coming in. He has no boost, not quite able to put it in. So close to the goal, and they really needed that with just a minute left. Another chance, and Rogue will finally put it in. Chaos on the goal line, but finally Solar Flares get the goal.
You know, I don't know where I heard this, but I did hear somewhere that Rogue is as cracked as he is jacked, and he's showing it here on screen, puts that goal in, puts the Solar Flares within one with just a minute and 1 second remaining.
Yeah, this match is extremely close. Solar Flares hoping for that third goal to tie the game up, maybe push it to overtime. We know how important that first game is in a series of this style. If you get that first game, not only do you take the lead, but you also gain a moral advantage. You sort of, I guess, screw with the other team's mind a bit. They start to get down on themselves. They start to doubt themselves. And Panther just about putting that one in. Those are the shots that are extremely dangerous from the Solar Flares.
Yeah, but honestly though, Panther, you didn't have very many defenders on you. You really got to make a more dangerous effort on the ball there, and I think you can see it a little bit in his gameplay. Panther's been a little out of sorts, a little too early, a little too late to the ball. You know, depends. But there is still 8 seconds left. Can the Solar Flares do something here? 4 seconds. Clock is ticking down. Fat Lady hasn't sung yet, but she is on the stage, stretching, warming up. Ball hits the ground. She has sung. Toucans take game number 1 in the series.
Great showing from Toucans early on. It got a bit shaky towards the back half of that game, but they were able to keep it together as they always have through this season. And really for the Solar Flares, in my opinion, it just comes down to consistency and capitalization. They don't seem to be able to fully capitalize on their chances. We saw Ken have a breakaway chance, but didn't have any boost to finish it. We saw Panther's shot at the last dying moments of the match that just went wide. And those are shots that at this level should really be goals. And you can't let that get to your heads now. You got to reset mentally, and you got to come back in game 2 just as hard, just as fast, try and take it away from the Toucans.
Yeah, and 2 things I want to mention here. 1, Rogue and 89 Ken both getting more points than every single player on the Toucans. AB
Yeah.
Panther comes in at 211, so is the lowest scoring player in the lobby. It looks like we are going to get a sub into Brink. I'll be honest, I'm not very surprised per se, but at the same time, I don't think Panther played that poorly. It just looked like he was out of sorts. Like one of those things where after one game it was going to be done. But the Solar Flares do decide to bring in Brink for this game number 2. A lot of shots given up by both teams. I don't think that there needs to be that many shots on net in these games. You got to play defense a little earlier, push up into the midfield. Don't let these people have so much space. But I will say a lot of the shots on net that were counted were big, long clears from the defensive side.
Yeah,
Let's go ahead and get into this game.
Yeah, and going back to what you said at the end with more points for Ken and Rogue, almost all of those came from saves that were just long clears. I'm not doubting their skill, I'm not doubting their performance, but Pyth with the pinch goal kicking things off in a big way in game 2.
Yeah, apparently the Solar Flares were not wearing green today as he gets the nice big pinch there, and that one's gonna hurt. 1-0, 4:35 remaining in game number 2. Solar Flares down by 1 in the series. Now 50 is going to favor the blue team here, the Toucans. It's going to challenge 89 Ken in the corner. Actually waits for the ball to pop out. Pops it center. 69 boost. Got to mention that. Jojo Mojo spikes it down. Can't quite get it on net. And now Gaither looking to pass the center for Pyth. Good clear by Rogue. Can the Solar Flares get a little bit of offense going? Good backboard read by Rogue here with 0 boost. Able to get it a little out. Can't quite clear the zone. Pyth keeps it in. Good pressure from the corner. Passes it center, but no teammate there. Jojo Mojo forced to play the third man on the half-field line. And finally, the Solar Flares are out of their own zone, looking to create a little offense. Gaither taking it back the other way already. And what do you think about the substitution so far? You think it's made any difference in the Solar Flares play?
Brink really hasn't brought that much to the table. You see him fly by the ball there, but he doesn't really seem to really be changing the gameplay as, oh boy, oh no, Pyth is gonna take the credit for that goal. but another defensive blunder from the Solar Flares will put them down 2-0.
Yeah, 2-0 is going to be a little hard to come back from, but luckily there's a lot of time left in this game.
Absolutely.
A little over a fifth of the game has gone by so far. Solar Flares have an opportunity. Good pop by Brink towards the net is going to be defended away. Not a great touch by Rogue there, but I think Brink will be able to be the first one. Jojo Mojo on the wall. Good read. Realizes Brink is a little off of that ball and a little slow. Able to take his time control. Now leads to a good amount of pressure coming in from the Toucans. Jojo Mojo beats all of the defenders and the crossbar to boot. 3-0 with 3 minutes, 18 seconds left remaining in game number 2.
This is textbook offense from the Toucans. The boost difference between the two teams is unbelievable. It seems that the Solar Flares just can't get anything, even on their back zone. That's how great the boost starvation is, and they're using that so well to generate offense and generate these chances. And hey, when you play well, it shows. 3-0 on the scoreboard with just over 3 minutes left.
Just over 3 minutes left is right, and we have finally ticked down into the 2s. Let's see if the Solar Flares can get a flare of life inside of them right now, because they need it. Aether's going to be able to keep some pressure here on the orange half of the field. Brink tries to control, challenged early. It does get it by him, not any boost. Plays for the 50 on Jojo Mojo, so Pyth comes in out of nowhere, able to clear it away. Rogue not going to be able to steal that boost. Might get Stark here on the mid, but does get it. Now 89 Ken with a rough touch. Goes out center. Can't read it off the back wall. Jojo Mojo, have yourself a day, my friend. 2 goals in this game, 2 goals in last game, and absolutely doing work for the Toucans team.
Ken, he was so close to making that save, but at the end of the day, it was his fault. He didn't get the best touch off of the corner, and he just gave it right to the Toucans. And they might put a 5th on the board. Gaither's just styling on him now. And yeah, I don't want to say the writing's on the wall. We still got half the game left, which is unbelievable. But at this point, Toucans look unbeatable.
Yeah, I wouldn't say that they look unbeatable, though. I think that the solution to beating them is pretty clear, but I think that the Solar Flares just haven't seen it yet. They're pushing way too far forward. They're relying on that offensive pressure that it looks like a lot of other teams fail to deal with. And with a team like the Toucans, really good team in the league, you can't just put unrelenting pressure on because they're going to know how to deal with it. All they have to do is get a big banging clear onto your half of the field, and then they set up their own pressure. And I think that they just have to play a little bit further back in the third man position. I think their one guy's playing okay. Not really too sure about their 2 guy. I'll be honest. I haven't looked at it too much. But the Toucans, man, their offensive rotations are just so smooth and seamless right now that I think they can honestly keep a minor or a major team on their heels with the amount of pressure that they're outputting.
Yeah, they're looking extremely good on the offense. It's amazing to see that at the challenger level. But it does look like some offense is coming back from the Solar Flares. You see Rogue go for that shot. Jojo Mojo has to stretch for it. And the rebound is there. It's a bit of a blooper, but Brink does put it home and finally gets his team on the board. And boy, is it a finally.
It definitely is a finally. You know, the Solar Flares, this is not a team that we expected to go scoreless for nearly the first 4 minutes of game number 2. Brink, the sub, comes in, does get his name on the board, but can they get any more? You know, at this point, are you playing for morale to move into game 3 and 4, or do you really try and play for those 4 goals? And now it's gonna be 5. Gaither with an absolute beautiful double tap. Oh my gosh, that highlight could be coming up on FacePythRLXX.ttv.tiktok/live, you know? You never know. That was a pretty solid one.
Yeah. Gaither has been popping off all game, and now I think for the Toucans, it's not about winning anymore. It might just be about getting that Brazil. They have a minute to score 1 goal. Shouldn't be an issue for them, but you know Solar Flares will be all into stopping that. Because you were talking about morale earlier? You want a morale killer. A Brazil is about as good as they come if the morale isn't already shattered for the Solar Flares.
Very true. Not to mention if it ends on a clip. Imagine getting flip resetted into the Brazil.
Oh, God.
I mean, you already got double tapped into the 6-1. You gotta just try. Honestly, if any of the Solar Flares are listening to the stream right now, we're not doing anything good for their mental. But they
No,
really
no.
shouldn't be listening. They really shouldn't be listening to us while they're playing, right?
But
But
we're probably not helping the situation.
right. But it's true. They really do have a good shot at winning these next 2 games. I have a little bit of perspective, I guess, because I just got done playing this team like an hour and a half ago. This is not the same team that I scrimmed right now. They're, they're a little slow. They're a little sloppy. They're not playing bad, but you can't play okay against a team like the Toucans. You have to play good. You have to play maybe even sometimes great Rocket League, especially for this tier. And it's just not happening right now. But one positive, they don't get Braziled. Brink, the sub, comes in, does put a goal on the board. But man, dude, Jojo, Mojo, and Gaither just absolutely popped off that game. And Pyth, we didn't even say his name, but like maybe
Yeah.
3 or 4 times during that game. Man has 521 points, 2 goals, an assist, and 2 saves with 100% shooting percentage. What an absolute unit on the field. And 9 shots to 4. And
Yeah.
now 89-10. Do we get another sub? Does
Look,
Brink
it's
come
looking
back
like
in?
it. It's looking
Oh, do you
like
know what? I wonder if they're running a rotation.
they might be. I don't see that so late in the season. I feel like you should have your 3 set up. But hey, at this point, you gotta try something. You gotta try anything to get something off on the Toucans. Because just look at that scoreline.
Yeah.
500 plus points for every single member, 2 cycles. It's unbelievable how good they are playing right now. And if they can just keep up this momentum, they'll have no trouble at all in making playoffs, which they are just 1 game off of doing.
Right. And, it's... Man, I get the rotation. Some teams, they run a rotation all season long. Uh, that's not the way I personally think it would be done for the best
Yeah.
results. But at the end of the day, everyone's here. They're trying to play a video game. They're trying to have some fun. So I understand the rotation aspect of it. But at the same time, like the Solar Flares, I believe, are in danger of not making playoffs. Like they're not in a lot of danger per se. I also don't know who they play on Wednesday, but they can't be coming into these games as if it's just a video game. They really have to put their best 3 players on the field and play their best Rocket League that they can play right now. And they just sloppy flick there. Gaither able to keep pressure off of it. Now let's see what Panther can do out of the corner. Gonna be an awkward touch. Basically a pass to Gaither, who passes to Pyth. Pyth is not going to be able to finish that one. Can Panther beat Jojo Mojo? No, a little bit of a misread and just ends up giving the ball away. A lot of giving the ball away going on for the Solar Flares right now. Need to control the ball if that third man's going to be back. Get those big banging clears in, sure, because the Toucans are putting on a lot of pressure, but you have to make sure that the big banging clears are going over everybody's head. Double commit there. Another sloppy play from the Solar Flares. They've got to get these rotations under control. They have a third man back this time. Panther with a great save, but Pyth recenters the ball. Brink defending the near post there, trying to get it up on the left side wall, trying to start a play going. But Jojo Mojo able to keep the pressure. And, Flyfyre, I'm worried. I'm worried for the Solar Flares, especially after that banger of a goal from Pyth.
Yeah, I was gonna say earlier, the one thing I could critique Python specifically is that he is having some trouble reading those passes off the backboard, but he just silenced me there. Exactly what he needed to do. They go up 1-0, and I don't want it to seem like we are biased towards Toucans, but they are just playing better at this point. They really are. It's difficult to focus on their downfalls or their shortcomings when they are playing this good. Even when they're chaotic in front of the net, just like they are, they're still able to get that clear out. They're still able to hold together somehow. This is just an unbelievable roster, and we're seeing a Rocket League clinic as JoJo gets that second goal.
Yeah, I'm not going to lie, though. I thought Solar Flares were going to break through right there. Toucans, yeah, for all that they were doing while they were panicking, they were still panicking. It didn't look great defensively. Thought the Solar Flares were going to break through. not able to happen. They do get countered, and again, that just comes down to that third man there. But, you know, I will tell you now, I don't think anyone in chat thinks I have a bias towards the Toucans. I actually used to play on the Solar Flares for NSC. So if any, well, I mean, I guess that could lead one way or the other. But no, if anything, I would say I probably have the lean towards NSC. Rogue's one of my pretty solid friends in the league. But, you know, at the same, I think that's what makes it so easy for me to say, like, this is not the Solar Flares that I'm used to seeing, right? Like, I know how good a lot of these players are. Honestly, I know how good a lot of these players are in the league, just from being able to cast and see them all play these games. And I really hope that the Solar Flares can step it up a little bit. They, like I said before, they're not playing bad Rocket League. It's just not great, and it's going to be hard to beat a team like the Toucans if you're not playing good or great Rocket League.
Yeah, you got to be at the top of your game at this level, especially this time of the season where you're getting down to the last few games. You start talking about playoff spots, you start talking about seeding. There's actually a missed touch there. We'll see if they can capitalize on this. But again, there's no one there. There's no real pressure because they're having so much trouble just getting the ball out of their end with some boost and still left in their tanks. It's difficult to pinpoint just one issue for the Solar Flares because so many things are going wrong at once. It's not like a leak in the hull. It's like a torpedo just hit the side of your ship and the entire ship is just going down at this point. We'll see if they can pull it together in the next game, but time is really running out for these guys.
You know, you say next game, they do have a minute and a half left. We've seen a lot crazier comebacks happen in Rocket League, so let's see exactly what we got for the last minute and a half. Good 50-50 there from Jojo Mojo, able to keep a little bit of pressure, but Panther comes in early, able to get it to the blue side of the field. Brink comes in on the double commit, and now it looks like Pythe's going to be able to clear it away, beats Rogue on the sidewall. Panther 50 is two people because he's basically Arnold Schwarzenegger on the field, but Gaither able to clear it away. Nobody in the net again for the Solar Flares. You know, at this point, you gotta wonder what's going on with the rotation, right? Like, is it breaking down because this is how you've always played because teams just let you have this unrelenting pressure without punishing you? Or is it just a today thing? But going into playoffs, that's something you really got to think about because this team has a very solid chance at making playoffs. Again, I'm not sure who they play next series on Wednesday. Toucans are going to be there, most likely. Rogue comes in with a banger. He's tired of me just talking trash on stream. Tries to shut me up. Great fake by Brink. Probably not intended, but it pulls Pyth out of the net, puts him into the center, gets him away from that far post so he has no momentum to get to the side of the net. And Rogue just finally sends one home. 4-1. With 50 seconds remaining, it's going to be more than tough for the Solar Flares.
3 goals in 50 seconds is a lot to ask, but Solar Flares do show a sign of life. They finally give us a reason to talk some good about them. And that goal is actually really well played, especially by Brink. Intentional or not, he's definitely going to say it was intentional, as you do. But unfortunately, it's sitting out in front of the net. No capitalization from the Toucans, but at this point, they might not need it. 25 seconds now, but a great pass from Brink to Rogue. Excellent work from those two. Maybe there could be something coming up here. Game isn't over yet.
Game is not over yet, indeed. We got a couple people, you know, saying Toucans look like a championship team, and it's very possible. They're looking very good tonight. Jojo Mojo has had himself an absolutely fantastic night. I think MVP for 2 out of the 3 games so far, assuming the scorelines hold the same as they are right now. And Gaither also doing well. Pyth, the heart and soul of the team that we called out, has just been chilling. He hasn't had to come out. He doesn't have to be the heart and soul of this team because they play so well as a unit, and they show it here by winning game number 3, 3-0 in the series. Can the Solar Flares avoid the sweep, or are we going to get a little hotel room service coming in? I mean, with the broom, Brink is now on his way out. Looks like we're going to get 89 Ken back in. Rhyme intended. Rogue UM will stay in as the lone player to play all 4 games tonight. Honestly, I'm not surprised. I'm sure you're not surprised, Flyfyre. And chat, honestly, you shouldn't be surprised either. Rogue has had a great series of games. Brink has had a little bit of a rough time, but he does have a gold to his name in the game, in the last game, and Panther has also had a little bit of a rough time. So I'm not really surprised to not see Rogue sitting here.
Yeah, really quick, I want to thank our producer for supplying me with this info. But the Toucans are now officially in playoffs, regardless of anything that happens in any other games. They have clinched, and this last game means so much to the Solar Flares playoff chances. They're only 4 games out, but they're losing time. They're losing daylight to actually get these game wins. This game has to be a win from them, in my opinion. You have to
So,
come out of this series with at least one win.
so
And
you're telling me that if they don't win this game right here, they have to sweep next week to get into the playoffs?
yeah, more than likely.
Man, that pressure could create diamonds. But not like the bad diamonds in Rocket League, like good diamonds, like real life diamonds.
I take offense to that. Come on, man.
All right,
I'm
hey, no,
down there.
I had to say it, I had to say it.
Oh, boy.
It's honestly crazy to me, people at this challenger tier, the prospect tier, and even the contender and amateur tiers, they always are so quick to say how bad they are at the game, but you really just lose your appreciation for the style of play down low whenever you're so used to seeing the RLCS and Grand Champions play all the time. These are still really good players. It takes a lot of time and a lot of effort to get to the skill that these players are putting on today. Oh my gosh.
Oh, what a
Oh
dunk.
my. Oh, take it away. I've lost words. Oh, God.
I have such an appreciation for those kinds of plays. I know my team is tuning in. They know how much I love to try and pull those off. That is a absolutely beautiful play from Pyth. That was incredible. That was such a good pass.
Yeah, really good play here. Let's see if the Solar Flares can answer. Rogue does get a nice 50-50. Jojo tries to clear it away. 2 people beat. Pyth left in the net. Clears it down. Gaither there to read it. Puts it all the way down into the orange corner. Can he get the shot off? No, but he does get the demo. Now Pyth not able to keep it down in the zone, but does touch it straight up. Jojo with the follow-up touch. Now Gaither out of the corner. Tries to put it off the back wall. Good backboard read from Rogue there. Now Panther does beat 1. Jojo a little awkward, but the ball comes out quick and will get to Jojo before Panther can get there. 89 Ken tries to read it. I'm not sure if he gets a touch there, but the ball does slow down. Gaither's not going to get a touch, so Panther will take it back down towards the blue side. A little bit of ping pong going on here, back and forth, but not uncontrolled ping pong. Both teams, I will say, are trying to control the ball right now, which is very interesting considering, in my opinion, both teams have an issue with their third man positioning. Even the Toucans, it hasn't been exploited nearly as much as the Solar Flares has, but you can tell that third man is up in the play a little too early sometimes, going for shots that he really shouldn't be going for quite yet, but they're working, so why not keep going for them at this point,
Yeah, you're in playoffs. I wouldn't say get too complacent, but you sort of have that pressure lifted off of you. One thing I do want to touch on, though, Panther has been playing a bit subpar in this series, and he's playing this first man role, but he's taking these weird angles to the ball. He's getting really almost parallel to the ball. He's trying to just knock it straight into the mid, and as a result, every 50 he's in is a lost cause as Pyth. Like, Pyth hits those. He just hits those at this point.
He just hits those. Really good shot off the corner. Ken's got to be able to read that one, honestly. That's not a difficult shot to save. It's a difficult one to predict. I'll give him that. You don't really expect that to come off of the sidewall like that all the time, but it was a little slow. It was clearly not hitting the crossbar. You got to get your car on the ball there. And now we're starting to see double commits come in. Ken comes in from the near post, double commits with Rogue on that save. Can Gaither keep the pressure? He can. Rogue trying to clear it away. Is going to get turned backwards. Tries to get the half flip into the ball to control it. Pyth is going to be able to have the control here, but Panther has something to say about it. Jojo able to get up early, touches the ball down. Now Ken trying to get it centered out. Not going to happen as Gaither comes in. But Rogue with the demo and the touch towards the center. Pyth again saves the day defensively. One thing we got to talk about, I feel like it is a lot of Pyth clearing the ball defensively, but it's not a lot of saves per se. He's getting to the ball early, as he should, gets the ball away, out of harm's way, before they get the ball in any sort of a spot where it can be considered a shot. And that is the key of a good defender there. Not a lot of points for saves, but good amounts of clears.
Yeah, Pyth playing that third man role about as well as you could ask. They did have a tiny double commit there on the offense. But again, Pyth is back there. He just puts it away from all the attacking players. And the contrast right there, that is what I'm looking for. That contrast. You see Rogue, who is kind of playing that third man role, I would say, for the Solar Flares. He has no other choice than to put it right in front. And it happens again. Pyth capitalizes finally, and 3-0. Another massive lead for the Toucans.
Yeah, with a minute 18 left, I can already sense chat reaching into their broom closets, grabbing the stick of that wooden handle, but don't get overzealous yet. We still have plenty of Rocket League left to play. Make sure you get your wrists warmed up, do some stretches, because you might be sweeping for the rest of the night. See if the Masters can also carry it on if there does end up being a sweep tonight. Now we've got Ken trying to make something happen. Gaither tries to hold the ball in. Good thing Pyth was there on the half-field line. Now Ken, another awkward aerial, but it does end up being a pass to Rogue. Not a lot of boost. Gonna try and get a second touch. Panther comes in out of nowhere and touches the ball to the corner. You know, I'll be honest. I don't hate that touch, but I really didn't love that touch. I'll be honest with you guys. Now Ken out of the corner. Rogue, second man up, isn't going to have enough boost to beat Pyth, so Pyth able to get it away. And now in the orange half again, should come straight down for Gaither, but Rogue able to send it out towards the wall. And with just 20 seconds left, it is all but over, folks. Grip that broom firmly with both hands. Get your hips and wrists in motion, because we look like we have a sweep going on. Again, Fat Lady hasn't sung quite yet, but she's already on the stage stretching and warming up. JoJo able to put one towards the goalie box. Panther clears it away. Are the Toucans going to get another one here? They have a lot of pressure looking to pad the stats. Gaither might be able to get it out center, but JoJo able to pop it up towards the net. Ooh. Ball will touch the ground, and so will the Solar Flares as they fall 0-4 in the series to the Toucans.